Ready? And much better. So the other day I wanted to go for a run in the V8 just for old time's sake, because it's beautiful. Look, isn't it? And guess what? We had a 20-minute drive. It was perfect. Went to drive home again, and it started mucking up, misfiring, popping and banging, wouldn't go, coughing and farting, and wouldn't idle, and stalled, and wouldn't rev no matter how much throttle you gave it. Stop, let it, anyway, had to get it towed, didn't I? So I think it knew that because I've been working on the electric car, it had a little hissy fit, didn't it? And just to spite me. But very typical for 40-year-old cars. That's what you find. And it's often a fuel system with a 928. And it could be the pre-pump, the main pump, the filter, voltage to the pump can be bad through the relay and the fuse. It could be injectors, could be the dampeners, the fuel pressure dampeners, could be the fuel pressure regulator, or it could be the injectors themselves. The ignition computer, the fuel computer. This is an 84 model car, so it's got the first of the electronic injection, LH Jetronic, not the earlier mechanical injection, the K-Jet. So I looked at the invoices and I saw this car, combined with the $7,000 I spent on it when I first got it, it's had everything done to it in the fuel system. It's had new pump, new pre-pump, new filter, air mass meter, overhauled, recalibrated, airflow sensor, the whole lot. Everything that usually goes wrong has been changed. Matt's very suspicious about fuel pressure. Now, the earlier mechanically injected cars are meant to run 5 bar of pressure. This car, only 2.5. But as you can see, we've only got 2.0. Maybe not enough. Let's see if it runs now. Let's just see. Here we go. Won't rev at all. Pumping the throttle, nothing. Nothing. Hold it 3/4 throttle. Backfires. Full throttle. No. Dead. So guess what? I needed a tow. I thought, how ironical is that? There I am building the electric 928, and the one time I try and restore the love with the petrol one, it does let me down. See, now it's going. Now it's happy. A few minutes ago, as you heard, it wasn't. Bizarre. I suppose in a way this endorses my decision to build an electric one, doesn't it? So you don't end up on the back of a flatbed. So when you have these sort of problems with a 928, the first thing you look at is this guy here. It's our fuel pump and our fuel filter. And there's a pre-pump in there. There's a second pump in the tank. So Bruce Buchanan's advice, if you're working on an old 928 and you find that it's got a pre-pump in the tank, this thing here, you replace it with a strainer instead, which is available as a Porsche part. And the reason is those pumps fail. They get old. They're a very bad design. They've got a long plastic arm with the motor on the end, and it just flexes in the tank, and they eventually break, and then the bits of it come out, come through this tube, straight into your main pump, which is expensive. So the first thing you suspect is this guy here. When you've got fuel problems, like we seem to be experiencing. But what I can see is looking through the invoices for this car, these are both new, been fitted by Porsche Cars Melbourne. Filter, pump and pre-pump, you can see how shiny it is. 12.8.
12.8, it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
If you want to give it a really light rev.
Sure.
Yeah, it's all the same.
I don't know. Where do we start? I think we better take it to Bruce.
Because we got 28 psi fuel pressure, which, don't quote me on this, but it seems too low for any injected car. But it may be suitable for this, but not an expert.
I think this is the point where I don't want to distract you from the electric car. I'd rather, let's take it.
We could find it, but
Bruce.
It's like, as you say, I'm happy to admit I'm not an expert on these.
Yeah.
Give me 2 weeks and I'll sort it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we don't have 2
have the
weeks.
luxury. Let's just take it to Brucey.
You know, it's
and he can clean it as well, because look how filthy that is.
Right, it's disgusting. Can you actually get this car out of here? As you see, my workshop is immaculate.
It is now. It wasn't last week, but
I do not deal with this sort of junk.
Now, last episode we met the engineer, and as you saw, he gave me a long shopping list of things to attend to.
it's not an easy task. Some things are going to be quite difficult to include.
Many are quite straightforward, and as far as the video is concerned, just a bit too mundane, and I've done them already. But there are some big things that are a puzzle. The brakes, for example.
All right.
That's a bit better.
See, that is, but for example, say I want to lock and modulate the brakes, it'd be like, I can't even lock up, right? That was almost maximum effort for me.
Yeah.
I expected more bite for something that size and Porsche.
Yep. He wasn't happy, and he's right. Once the new pads were bedded in on the trip out to see him, it did not stop as well as I thought it would. Why? Especially as we'd replaced or reconditioned virtually everything in the braking system, front and rear. It was a mystery. So I thought, how do you put a number on what's good stopping power? Because he just did it on feel, and he did not set an empirical number I should achieve. Well, first I thought I'd take a modern car with very good brakes and find out. Now this is my all-wheel drive Pocket Rocket MG you've seen before, and it has very good brakes. Okay, see how many G's we get. Deceleration from 60 k's an hour. There's 60. Big stop. And the answer is anything over 1G is quite strong braking. We did touch 1.4, but it was consistent at just over 1G. So 1G is a pretty decent benchmark and what we should aim for. How about the electric Porsche? Car simply will not lock up. So once again, well, the answer is the best I got was about 0.6 to 0.7 G, and it took twice as much effort on the brake pedal to get the wheels to lock. Now the difference between 0.7 and 1 might not sound like much, but subjectively it's a lot. It's the difference between bad brakes and good brakes. Sorry?
Essentially as hard as I can.
Yeah, pretty much. It took a lot of brake force.
So he must want less brake force, I guess.
I guess that's his plan.
Yep. So to me, like, thinking about it, easiest option, as you say, or he says, both of you, pads.
Yep.
Different friction coefficient. B, weights, different front to rear with the battery and the motor in the back.
No, that's pretty okay.
Like, it's pretty close, so, you know, we shouldn't have to change the pivot point on the actual brake pedal.
No.
We've got enough vacuum. The boost is not terrible.
No.
You know, we know the boost is good. So, pads, yeah.
What I'll do is I'll get you to drive the petrol car.
Yep.
And I'll put the cameras on, and you can so you've got a personal experience of what it's like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how about a 40-year-old petrol-powered Porsche 928 on its slightly skinnier tyres and without the benefit of ABS? And the answer is not quite as strong as the modern car, but it can also generate about 1G of braking before it locks the wheels and the tyres skid. There goes half my tyres.
Yeah, these stop good. I think, look, put it this way, the engineer failed it on the subjective test.
Yeah.
He didn't have a meter.
No.
He just said it's not enough. And that's what we've done.
Yep.
So I think because we're replicating his method, I can feel the difference, you can feel the difference. Like, you know,
It's very significant.
2 + 2 equals,
17.
well, you know, I'm not good at maths, but
Yeah,
I was going to say 5, mate.
So my suggestion to Matt is, seeing as both my petrol and the electric 928s have new brake pads in them, of different brands, let's swap them.
So, the electric car,
Yep.
brand new rotors, slotted.
Yep.
You can see how thick the pads are through there.
Oh, yes.
They're brand new.
And these things are well and truly worn in now. They've had plenty of hard stops in the last 110 Ks.
Look, we put new piston seals in that.
Yeah.
We know the calipers aren't sticky. Yeah.
We did rebuild the master cylinder.
Yep.
It's just not stopping.
We know our brake system, you know, braided hoses. Everything's in good order. We've renewed so much, but the pads, as you said, you know, maybe just not good enough friction coefficient. So
It should stop, but it doesn't.
we'll swap the pads and do some test. Tyres could definitely come into it. Extra Kumo PS71s.
Yeah. And
the date is 24, and today we're filming in 25. So
yeah, they're new.
A year old. They're brand new.
We know our coefficient of friction with the road is very good. So
100%.
Yeah.
So and those other tyres, they're not junk. No. They've still got all the nibs on them. So yeah.
How do you like the power delivery of the two cars? Just having driven them, then just to accelerate up for the brake test. Did you notice how sort of immediate and responsive this is? Whereas the V8's got all the character and the sound. But it takes ages to get going.
The V8 always gives me that look over your shoulder effect, like, ooh, because of the noise.
Yeah. Say
cruise to foot to the floor. This is 2025. You can't not be aware of some Karen with a camera, a dash cam. You know what I mean? So, you know, take that how you will. But if you're silent, people don't think you do anything wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we did anything wrong in this car, not by any means. But it's the whole noise is like, wow, what's that noise? It's something you shouldn't be doing.
It's antisocial.
It's antisocial, so.
But we're going to make this car antisocial.
Look, you know, but the thing is, you can choose to be antisocial or you can be social.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Do you like the idea of putting the V8 Burble back into this car?
Oh, for sure. Like, it's, you got to remember, like, yeah, it's electric, but it's got a soul in Germany many years ago, which had a V8 in it.
It is.
I love petrol, I love diesel.
But now look at this one, it's
electric.
Look, before we start, who owns this Renault up here? Look at this, he's got 9-year-old tyres on it.
Mate, you wouldn't dare, would you? Lucky it's not registered. Where is it? There it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, 2016.
2016.
Oh. Irresponsible guy. It's his car. My good friends at DBA did actually offer to give us a set of pads. They said measure them up and show us, we can probably find something to match.
Yep.
But even though we had the offer, I thought I won't put them to the trouble, because we have sort of known quantity pads here.
Look, try these.
Right.
So it's a DB256 Bendix.
Okay.
So
versus the Ultimate Friction. So there's the comparison. So they both got plenty of meat on them.
Yeah.
And what we found is these ones work, and these ones don't work. They've bedded in fine. I wonder if this is the problem. It'd be a real shame if we swap them over and the problem remains.
Look, it may be, but you've got to try, don't you?
Yep.
So.
All right.
You know, we've got similar rotors on the cars. This is slotted, that's slotted.
Bit of a lip on that. That's getting.
Yeah, a little lip.
So, how much bedding in do you think it'll take where the pads are already bedded but they don't match the rotors they're going on?
I'd say not too much. This is steel, that's some sort of compressed cardboard, lawn clippings, whatever they put in these
Made
things.
out of belly button lint,
cooking
oil and cardboard.
Right.
Yeah. So here are the no-name pads going in. We don't know what they are, from China. And at least they're not old stock. They were new when they went in. One day I'm going to save up and buy you a set of gloves just to protect you.
Mate, I've got gloves. They're called fingers. They're protecting my bones. Oh yeah. Texstar T400. So
nothing special.
Well, Texstars are good, you know. But what we've pulled out is like the sort of Rock Auto brand, which I can't see a marking on them.
Okay. Another thought. Viewers have been saying, why don't you put some more period correct wheels on the car?
Yep.
And because the 19s are just too big, I really wanted 18s versus 16s.
Simmons' classic VL Commodore.
Yeah. No, they were
Mazda,
very, very popular in the 80s on 928s.
Any rotary, you know, they would have loved Simmons. They're fantastic wheels.
Okay.
And like you can see the tread on there, like that's brand new. This has still got the flag on that one. That's brand new. And let's have a look. Side to side. Just a diameter, you know.
Very significant. Which will be helpful for acceleration.
This will definitely accelerate better.
The poor old petrol car's not feeling love today. It's getting the 19-inch wheels put on it, and it's getting dodgy brake pads put on it. No wonder it's mucking up.
One thing I noticed is the petrol car had these on them, which this car doesn't have.
You know what? On this car, They'd completely disintegrated.
Ah, okay, maybe that's it.
They were broken apart. There was nothing left of them from corrosion.
Gotcha.
I remember.
Yep.
We did pull them off and they went straight in the bin.
Ah, so that's it. You know, if
You don't eat much during the day, do you? You just soldier on.
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's the mechanic's curse.
I'm happy to bring you a roll once in a while. Just like this one. Yum! I've done so many little jobs, Maddie. Like, I changed these number plate lights. Remember the old Porsche ones were just falling apart? So I've, like, $12 each from China, and they're much brighter, much better. Now, you had a question. These Simmons wheels, they used to be made in Australia, didn't they? They were really a classic. Can you tell? Well, there's your answer right there. Beautiful. Period correct. So for the people that criticised my genuine Porsche 19-inch rims that I put on, okay, you win the argument. We'll go back to period correct 16-inch Simmons wheels. Are you happy now? Looks much more like a standard 928 now, doesn't it? What do you think, better? So let me know. Do you think these wheels look better, or should I have stuck with the 19s? Mind you, the 19s don't look too bad on the petrol car. Look at that.
Definitely.
But it's lower.
It's lower, but because of the rim, it looks. It doesn't look as red hot. It looks more acceptable because you got. To me, it's always the rim to the guard, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, a bit of tyre tuck is no big issue, but
It's not fouling. It's good.
no, that's fine. I think it's good.
Okay. The original ducktail lip on the back of the original 928s, I think is quite nice. I do like the clean rounded look, but on the early cars I quite like that. Now, I never really warmed to the picnic table wing that was on the back of the S4s, and that's why I've deleted this for the clean look. As I've said before, we don't have autobahns in this country, so I think that's appropriate. But if you want to see what a silly wing looks like, how about that on this Megane? Isn't that too crazy for words? And talk about aero. Too much? Too much. Yeah, much better. So up and down the driveway plenty of times, and straight away I can feel the pads are bedded in and it's stopping better with far less effort on the brake pedal. Here we go. Ready? That's as good a stop as I can do. Guess what? It's much better.
Is it?
The steering's lighter, it points better. It's already, I just did a gentle stops and some harder stops. Half the pedal pressure required.
Oh, good.
Actually lit up the tyres coming down the driveway.
Yeah, good.
So you can actually lock it up without massive pedal pressure. But you can also modulate it. You can find the threshold.
That's good.
And then modulate the brakes. So.
Good.
60. So yeah, I get it. From the 19s back to the 16s. When I started this, I did say I wanted the car to look just like a regular 928, so you're probably right. But I can't stop playing with the colour ideas though. Gone off the mint green a bit, but how about this Aston Martin Formula 1 green? Or this maybe? For the moment though, Mr. Grubby Knees and Mr. Bashed Up Hands are happy. Let me show you the process for starting the car. Porsche ignition on, that powers the Porsche's electrical system. Headlights, wipers, blinkers, hazards, that kind of thing. Now, if we try and start the car, nothing happens. Why not? Smart key's not detected. We need the smart key. And it goes just in there. Right, we're now unlocked. So now we can power it up and it will give us accessories only. Yellow accessories. Push it again. It tries to start up, but I didn't have my foot on the brake, so it won't enable the high voltage connectors. We still have no high voltage yet. I need to put my foot on the brake with the ignition on. Now it'll start. And the high voltage thing goes out, the power booster came on, and we're running. Trouble is now, my dash lights are still on. See all these warning lights for my washer fluid level and my brake pad wear? All these lights stay on because we haven't got a crank function. Normally when you crank a car, you get a signal back from the motor to the Porsche which says now you can turn off all these lights and they operate as they're meant to, rather than just being in bulb test mode. All very confusing, right? Let me talk about that. In a normal 928, you have here on a right-hand drive car, it's here, on a left-hand drive car, it's on the other side, this thing, which is called a Central Instrument Warning Control Unit. Big name. Now basically what happens when you turn the ignition on, all the bulbs are powered, the back end of the bulbs goes through this unit to the various sensors that control them. For example, brake pad wear. There's a brake pad wear sensor, it comes into one of these cables and it goes from here back to the globe. Now when you turn the ignition on, all those globes are shorted to earth for a few seconds. So here you can see on the schematic, and here I found this wire, this blue wire, is actually coming back from the generator. So when the engine starts, it will have voltage on this lead, and it tells this unit the engine's now running, so it can now switch all these globes to their normal mode of operation, if you like. That blue lead is in fact this blue lead just here. See that second one along? Now, I thought I can trick this unit. What I'll do is, when we turn on the MG's ignition and accessories, why don't we then wait a second or two and then fire a little relay to put 12 volts back to this unit. And I tried it, except it doesn't work, and I don't know why. Now possibly that was all a bit too much detail, but the short answer is, after mucking around with it for a couple of days, I couldn't get the thing to operate properly. I think it's getting a pulse signal, whatever it is. I couldn't get it to reset to normal mode, so what I'm going to do is directly connect those globes to their various sensors so they operate all the time. We don't have the bulb test function, but we will still have the functions that we do need, like brake pad wear, brake fluid level, all those things. So that leads to an interesting situation now. The car's started, the ignition's on, but what happens if you were to turn the ignition off while you're still driving? Well, you'd lose your brake lights, your indicators, your tail lights, that kind of thing. You might not even be aware of that, and yet the car's still driving perfectly. That'd be a hazard in traffic. So what I've had to do is introduce another relay, this guy here, coming back from the MG system. Once the MG system's powered up, it then repowers the Porsche system as well, and we do not lose our brake lights and indicators and things. Now that's just one of the 20 or 30 little things I've had to do to keep the engineer happy. Makes sense. Happy days, eh? Now you remember from last time another annoying problem. One of my high beam lights just did not work. Why? No amps. We've got a problem. This white wire here is not getting power from the fuse panel. Maybe there's another connector in between that I've dislodged or something. That's the next thing to check. Fuse is okay, switch okay, relay's okay, globe's okay, connector's okay, but still no power here, so get to it, Stu. Now, broken wiring limbs can be an absolute pain in the futticle shrouds. So, luckily, this one was quite easy. So we'll just get these horns out of the way. And if you look in there, what do you see? You've spotted it already, haven't you? Look at that, broken wire. Now, why would that wire break? Things don't break unless they move. And fixed. Alrighty, we're going to talk about headlights now. Now I've fixed my high beam on the other side. Hooray. Let's talk about globes. So on the 928, they come standard with H4 halogens, as you'd know. And the important thing about this is that this seal here, between the back cover, must seal against that, because the weather gets in here every time you drive in the rain, and it'll get in there, and that's not good. And you've seen that before many times. We're going to replace that with an LED style. Now, the first ones I used were these ones that I bought on the internet, and I won't mention the brand, but they were reasonably cheap. You can see that the distance is correct from the front to where the globes are. That's got to be the same distance to there, so that looks pretty good. But as far as cooling goes, these things run really hot, and it's just got a bit of a heat sink here. There's no fan. But the problem with this one, as good as it is, and the light quality is good, then you put that on like that, problem is it doesn't sit flush. There's a 2mm gap there. So the rain's just going to come around the inside of the shield here and straight in there, and it's going to fill that up, and that's not good. That needs to seal. Good, but no cigar. So out with that. Now on our channel we don't normally do product endorsements, but the nice people at Novsite did actually contact me and say, can we send you some globes? So I said yes, and we've never done this before on the channel, but I said sure, let's have a look at them. And they sent me, they've got a whole range of lights in their range, but as far as H4 globes go, these are the latest and greatest. I've got one in there already. Now this, first thing I noticed was the distance at the back was better. They're shorter here, so that's probably going to seal. But also, this is a quality globe. They've got a little fan at the front. Because these get so hot, it's really good having a fan at the front blowing past the unit and not just a heat sink. Some of them have a fan at the back, a great big one, but it's on the wrong side of the shield, so it's not actually going to draw air. So this looks like a very clever design. Really suit a little high-speed silent fan there. So we'll try these out and see what they look like. So that's Novsite, and this is there's the brand there, and I've already tried them, so I know the answer. They're good. So now let's do a little comparison inside so you can see what the globes actually look like, one versus the other. So here are the standard halogen globes, pretty good. And here's the brand B lights they put in, looks very good. And here are the Novsites, and you can see that's a nice looking product there. So yeah, there's the Novsites in there, and that's forming a nice tight seal, so that's much better. So go Novsite, there it is there. You can get them on the internet, go to their website. So there we are, this is my first ever product endorsement. They're not that expensive. They were more expensive than the other ones, but they're still well priced. So have a look at their range. Headlights sorted. So what have I learned today? Well, apart from better braking and acceleration, going back to these smaller, lighter wheels have other benefits. Less unsprung weight means the coilovers don't have to work so hard, so you get better ride, bump suppression, and I can feel already the steering response is sharper too, despite the tyres being only slightly narrower. So as much as I liked my gangster wheels, these ones are better. What do you think? Leave a comment. It stops. That's good. Stuart is happy. Hey, thanks for watching the video, and you made it all the way to the end. You rock. Now, whether it's petrol or electric, there's a lot of Porsche content on the channel, and there's going to be a lot more. So maybe you'd like to subscribe. You might also enjoy all the other non-Porsche content we've already got. Heaps of car reviews. Electric, classic, sports, exotic. There's a bucket load there. See you next time.